Week 12, Game 3. I am your solo commentator, A-Shark7773. I guess my dogs are with me. They're being loud. But both teams have said they're ready. Let's get into the first map, Oasis. I'm excited to see what both teams decide to run here. It's definitely something that they can experiment with in a bit. I'm expecting Aporia to win here, but I can also see Cronus pulling something that we haven't seen out and managing to get a win. Overall, I think it is going to be a fun match. None of my spectate first person buttons are working, so I will fix that between the next round. Or I think I have time now, actually. So on here as Zarya's side, I need to fix my colors, crap. Ryan gets charged far into the back line. They should hopefully be able to finish him, but the Far is cleaning them up during the entirety of this. They do finally manage to get the Reinhardt, but Zarya's low here and might fall. Moving back to the fight at the point, D.Va does manage to get demeched here. And as they're capping, I'm going to fix. And they're already in a fight. Okay. Well, for easy information right now, pink is Cronus until next map, and green is Aporia. On to the Far here, managed to pick to half HP, but she does get healed up. D.Va does manage to get her mech back and pushes the Pharah, but she is alone, and the Pharah is being pocketed here. Pharah does have Barrage, but the D.Va is going to be able to deal damage. Pharah is down from the Ana. Rez right in front of the D.Va does manage to come off, but I think Mercy is going to die here. Mercy does fall down. Moving over, Pharah gets the Ana and a Barrage. This is still pretty fair, besides the fact Pharah got down by the Brigitte. Genji is just contesting point right now at an area they can't reach. The rest of his team is back to help him contest. Max Good charging in low, gets charged but from low. And manages to get picked up. Genji's still just contesting, given his team. He definitely was able to get a good amount of time out of that. And big Shatter coming in and getting the Reinhardt, Mercy, and the Lucio. They do successfully manage to pick off the Reinhardt from that, though. And that was the only way I'll use that fight to get a debatably won fight. Boop comes in, does manage to get close, but nothing happens. Both teams are down. Actually, Flock just popped D.Va Bomb. So, Cronus has used 2 ults and has 4. And Aporia has used 0, correction, 1. And, yeah, ults are just coming on both sides quite a bit. Reinhardt misses charge and boops the entire team back. Reaver does manage to get in the backline and check out the high charge Zarya. If they're able to res that up, that is a massive pick. Shattered and Grab combo comes in, manages to get 3 in the Grab and 4 in the Shatter. Boop come in. This looks like it's just going to be cleaned up. It's just up to Lucia to contest for a bit. Just stalling for some time. Ash could come in and deal damage. Does successfully manage to take out the enemy Reinhardt. Is cornered off. Does get Brigitte also. Reaper is there to help him out, has to rape out though to get heals. Blade coming in on the side of Aporia, and a debatably already won fight, does successfully manage to get the Reaper and the Zarya though, which is big. They are trying to get the Lucio, and he does manage to move off the Reaper. If they can group up quick, that might help, but I don't think anyone's going to be able to touch the point for the side of Cronus. Yeah, I did that right. I think. We'll see. But, going up a map there, my colors are reversed, because... Okay. Because Aporia won that, but the colors are mixed with the team. Okay, Overwatch. But pushing on both sides, it looks like they are expecting the Pharah coming in by picking the McCree. And Silverbrute does manage to take out Axcrit. That could be a very determining factor in this fight if they're able to successfully push this. Coming in, does manage to also get the Genji. Entire team rushing Zarya currently. This does give Mercy time to res up the Reinhardt on the side of Aporia, and Reaper does manage to pick the McCree off. This can be a winnable fight, and Brigitte does manage to pick off Reaper, causing the rest of Aporia to back out, or Cronus to back out, my bad. So rushing in here. Does manage to get a fire strike onto both the Brigitte and the Ana, causing them to go down half. Var does come out on the side of Cronus now, though. But the Reaper for the side of Aporia did switch off to a McCree. Var does get killed and going in aggressively here. Grab does manage to pick off the Reinhardt, but are they? Oh, the Brigitte was in there too. Nano Ryan comes out. And Grab also comes there. That is a lot of ults on the side of Cronus. About 3 or 4, I think. And it's still a very close fight. I think they're losing it, actually. Flock does manage to get 2, so he might be able to actually turn this around for his team. But one gets red, and yeah, he's dead. Watching the McCree on the side of Aporia, has High Noon, does decide to pop it, gets 2 and some damage onto the Pharah, manages to successfully pick the Pharah off. Mercy tries to res, but the Lucio boot does manage to prevent her from getting stunned there. Pharah gets a headshot as soon as she presses Barrage, which allows Flexima Ice Cream to finish them off. Lucio just jump off the map to prevent a stagger. Shatter comes in, does manage to get another Shatter comes in, gets 4, but misses the Lucio. That is massive. Bomb coming in, picks off no one, and they Aporia does successfully manage to take the Reinhardt. Pyro kills Axcrit though, but Bullet Stomper is able to res and get over the McCree in time. Graf comes in. Only 1 kill there. And yeah, that looks like that got cleaned up. I should actually open the stream so I can look at the comments. Ultimate, and that looks like Aporia won. Pretty good looking first map. Yeah, pretty good. High Noon here. That was definitely fun to see how they handled it. I actually expected the Ana to try and back out of the way instead of just standing at the middle. And then that was a nice shot on the Pharah. Well, let's get the next map up, which is unknown because my Discord doesn't want to load. Which is Hollywood. Let's see if either side needs subs. Okay, both sides are ready. No subs on either side. Just continuing this. I hope my colors are fixed and not flipped. They're reversed here, but I feel like they aren't going to be reversed when they come out because colors have been absolutely messed up. But, yeah, colors are flipped right now. Let's see what each side's going to run. Okay, go into the attackers first, which Aporia... Okay, colors are flipped. I did a good job here. Don't worry about it. I forgot that was my pause button. This is off to a good start. Okay, so looking at the comps, we have a 2-2-2 with a Reaper Tracer on the side of Aporia, Classic Ren Zarya, and Lucio Moira. Then on the defense side, we have a Tracer also, but instead of Reaper, they're running Genji, so a little bit lower damage, with the Winston Diva and the Lucio Moira, so same supports on both sides. Defensive dive, so this is actually going to be really fun to see how they hold this. So far nothing really much happening. Support's falling low on both sides, but nobody's dying yet. Damage coming in. Reaper does manage to pick off the Winston. They were expecting the dive by the looks of it, though, and managed to also pick off Tracer and Genji. There's no DPS and a lack of tank. Lucio is really low, though. Managing to survive does fall, and that is going to be a 0.1 going to Aporia. Widowmaker switch on the side of Cronus. I have seen this come out of them before, and it has worked fairly well. Does manage to pick the Lucio down to half. Another body shot. Tracer does die to the Winston, and Widow does manage to pick off the Lucio. They should be trying to push it very aggressively here, even though they have the Reaper to worry about. Does use Ray fairly early. Shutter does come in and manages to pick off the Moira. Bomb going up, picks off the Zarya. That still is pretty equal. Pyro does manage to get a headshot on the Reaper as he comes to try and push him. Winston deal damage, does get pinned and killed by Axcrid. It looks like Aporia actually is managing to flip this in their favor. They did. Winston diving in the backline, putting pressure on the Lucio. Annex does manage to pick out the Reaper. That is going to be a big pick, and he's the most going to allow Winston to deal a lot of damage coming into this. Currently, Aporia's Zarya falls really low, but doesn't manage to die, and Flock does get demeched. Lucio dies on the side of Aporia, leaving them down. Dragon's coming in, splitting them off from point. Silverboot does manage to pick off both supports in this fight. Drastic does pick off Clout Mister, though. NX does also manage to get Axe Crit. The Battle of the A's was won there. And it looks like that was a pretty well won fight on the side of Cronus. With my flipped color scheme. Score right now is 1-0 Aporia. Currently pushing here. I will get more first person next map. I messed it up by hitting my pause button, which ironically is my FOV button, or POV button. NX does manage to get the enemy Widow though, and the Moira, which is pretty big, and Pyro does pick off Tracer. Flock does successfully manage to get Axe Tread, and Pyro does get Kawaii. Looks like just some finishes up there. Ultimates on both sides, it is 3 coming on to 5 on the side of Cronus, and 4, and both the 2 ults that they don't have are really far off on the side of Aporia. It is going to be interesting to see how both of them are pops, and Widow's ult is something that can't be used this fight. Okay. They are definitely going to be pushing aggressive here, especially since they have ults. I can't say that. Widow for the side of Aporia manages to pick off Ghastly, and actually does get Hanzo. This is going to be very... Silverboots is diving far into the backline of Aporia and putting pressure on the supports, but currently there's nothing happening. Widow is really low and does manage to get to a health pack, but Primaline Winston is on her and isn't probably going to be able to do much. Coming up to the main fight, Lucio dies trying to cast Sound Bear while in a grab. He was solo grab there. Dragon splitting them off. Locke is trying to put damage and using the dragons. 2 picks on the side of Cronus, but there is nothing there. Massive Shatter coming in, and point was already capped, but 2 picks on the side of Axe Grid. Annex does manage to pick off Kawaii, which is big, saying if I remember correctly, she was pretty high charge. Ignore my PlayStation glitching out. Hey, now whenever you guys hear me complain about my PlayStation randomly going to the home screen, you know I am not lying. So let's just one among the top. Manages to pick off Annex here, which is going to be pretty big. Hanzo on top, gets dove by Drastis. Let's see if we can get up there. Lucio does manage to come peel Owl for him. Going down to the main fight here, it looks like it's a little bit of Battle of the Rhines. Flock is on Roadhog though, which can be a little bit of a difference here. Charge comes in, manages to deal a lot of damage to Kawaii. Currently 2 picks for both. Clout does pick up Drastics as he was finished off Blade. That's going to be really big there. Flex does manage to get the enemy Lucio. He's the better Stanky. Battle of the Moira comes in. Clout manages to get Bullet Stomper and manages to heal up Flock here. Annex dies trying to die, or dies from Aporia's Widow again. They have been doing a really good job. Flock gets hooked in as Pyro gets picked off by Aporia's Widow too. Charge comes in on the side. Nobody's pinned and is actually is booped and taking a lot of damage by Flock. Flock gets hooked out of his ult, allowing Kawaii to deal a lot of damage. Pushing the Moira away. Charge does not land on him and comes in for a lot of damage. Pyro is coming back as Genji to try and get some more stall time here. Same with the Moira there. Genji's already dead. Moira is dead, and that is Aporia capping point 3. With about a minute 30 left. I just did that to fix my thing. So now I can watch it first person point of view. I think. I don't know. I like being able to hit one button and fly to first point without doing anything. It gives a nice cinematic of the map too. Okay, looking on the side of Aporia for their defense, they're running a Rhine Hog, which I have seen a lot more, but in the past is called the feed tank duo. But a Reaper Ash, so they have the ground control along with the air control. Kawhi switches off the Hog to Zarya as if they heard me. And the Lucio Mercy combo for the supports. On the side of Cronus, they're running a Hammond, which is something I have seen a little bit on this map, and is something that works pretty well. With Zarya, though, and Hammond switches to Reinhardt. I'm sad. I wanted to see that. They are sticking with the Torb, though. I do want to see where this goes. Turrets down. Coming and running straight into a Reaper who's able to do a lot of damage. Lucio just booping people. Does fall low, but Annex does fall to Kawhi, who is going to be able to charge up quite a bit off the turret. Damage is coming in. Actually, it's two. Both supports with 5 strike. Already has a Shatter. Manages to pick off the Regita and the Zarya with the help of his her teammates. That's actually really big. And the fact that they charged it that fast. But on the side of Aporia, they currently have Valkyrie coming up, have Valkyrie and Bobus coming up. And on the side of Cronus, they have Shatter coming up, along with Coalescence coming up. That's about it for Ultra. Shatter does come in, gets blocked though, countercharge coming in. Annex is going to be able to take a lot more damage here. And Torb is falling really low. Grab coming in, managed to pick up 3 in the grab. Is there going to be enough damage to come follow up on this? Stomper does successfully manage to res Rhine, and yes, Flock does get Drastics though, and an unneeded Death Blossom, at least in my opinion, and Tracer is trying to get out for life now. Ooh, Flock's in the back line. Oh, Flock's gonna go try and camp the Ashe. Let's see how this works. Oh no, they knew Flock was there. That's questionable, kind of. But going back to the main fight, watching Clout Mister here. Damage coming in. The Dynamite does come in and manage to land on a lot of people, which is going to give ult charge. Soundbarrier does come in on the side of Aporia, and they trade Rhines. Annex turret gets one and Flex gets the other. Aporia does manage to res up their Rhine though, as the Moira for Cronus falls. Flock does manage to pick off X-Crit though, but it is a pretty lost fight based off just the current pick count. But Annex does pick off Flex, and Flock gets Bullet Stomper. This is going to be something I can see what happened. Kawhi does manage to pick a Flock off though, and also gets the Lucio. I think that Aporia was able to hold this, even though they have no heals and everybody there is really low. As I say that. X-Crit is back for the side of Aporia though, but Aporia is going to be able to get a full 6 before Cronus is going to be able to get a full 6 before Aporia. That coming in, a successful block, but taking a lot of damage from the Molten Core. Does die. DM is able to eat most of the Death Blossom. Currently, it is 2 picks to 0 picks in favor of Cronus. Shatter comes in, does get blocked, but gets picked off also. Lots of damage coming in. Currently, there are support ults and a pulse bomb, but it looks like that isn't needed, saying the fact that both supports have fallen on the side of Aporia. Cronus is going to cap first point with roughly 32 seconds left on the clock. X-Crit does manage to get Flock though. 31 seconds, close enough. On camera with X-Crit. Only 27 to Shatter, but Silver Boot on the side of Cronus has his Shatter at this point. Let's see if he's able to do anything with it. Pulse Bomb comes in, manages to pick off the Zarya as Annex gets the Mercy, and Cronus is just going to roll forwards here and deal lots of damage and get lots of picks. Ashe falls off the top, but manages to back. Okay, never mind. Flock is able to clean up. I wonder how Flock plays with his Bear Claws. Silverboot is hiding, looking for a shatter. I'm excited to see if they're able to get anything out of this. Drastic does see it, so the Rhine might be turning around to try and block this. Soundbarrier coming in, does manage to get kind of stunned out. Rhine falls into the Molten Core, and currently Cronus has 3 picks compared to 4 picks compared to the 3 on side of Aporia, and they are just going to be able to finish off Captain. Annex does get Kawaii, but does fall to the McCree. Damage coming in, tries to charge the Axe Grid, does miss up a bit, and taking lots of damage here. Does have support of both support, and currently falls to 23 Knight. Actually does manage to get a Fire Strike. Flock dies to the stun headshot, showing a bit of skill there compared to just hitting L2. No, we're back in first person. I didn't even realize that. Stun Fan the Hammer comes in, manages to pick off Axe Crit as they pushed aggressively. Massive shatter, about 4 people roughly. High Noon comes in, manages to pick off 1 before Defense Matrix eats it. Stun Fan the Hammer comes in, Flock does manage to pick him off. And that is Aporia's winning a fight there. Nobody's talking in chat, sadly. Kawaii does manage to pick up Axe Crit's turret, but the turret pickoff doesn't mean anything. Shatter comes in, manages to get 3. 2 of them die almost instantly. Cloud dies as soon as they hit triangle. Nothing's appearing here. Reinhardt falls to 1 HP, and Flex does manage to clean them off. Ghastly is taking a lot of damage from the Moira, and it looks like Aporia is going to win this fight, but who knows for sure. Somebody said something in chat. Okay, let's look on the side of Flock, who has High Noon. Let's see if he's able to do anything special with that. Grab comes in, does pick off the Rhine, but Flock walks into it and dies to Kawaii. Pyro does manage to pick off the Bob, but Annex does fall to Kawaii. Let's get a cinematic view for this fight, because why not? McCree on the side of Aporia falls. Shatter comes in, does get blocked, and currently both Coalescence on both sides. Axe Crit does fall low with no barrier because the whole hog does die to Meister, something. Zarya gets hooked in, no bubble, does fall to half HP, but is getting pocketed by the Mario Lucio heals. And currently is making out, nope, Silver Boots is able to pick off Kawaii. Sound Barrier does come in on the side of Aporia. Axe Crit coming back, does not have Shatter. High Noon coming in on the side of Aporia, I believe. Gets no picks. Flock casts his High Noon. Gets 3 in this fight. It looks like Cronus is going to be able to cap this, but you don't know for sure. Stall is coming in. Shatter did get Zarya behind a crate, but Zarya is a fairly high charge right now. Drastic does fall, and Boop comes in, tries to boop them off. It's a success. Does not successfully for them, and that is going to be Cronus getting overtime. Hitting X and taking a flight back. I'll turn the camera forward so we don't get motion sickness from going backwards. Well, not me, I don't get that, but maybe somebody watching does. Okay, let's take a look at the comps. We'll start with Cronus this time, since they're on defense. They are... I'm assuming that Silver Brute is going to be switching to Reinhardt, but they Might not. They are leaving. They did leave spawn. Nope, they ran back. Nope, they left spawn. Okay. It's Diva Hammond, which, like I said earlier, I'm excited to see the Hammond, but with a Bastion makes me a bit confused. Pyro is on the Bastion and Annex is on the Torb, so double turret cheese. And Mercy Zen. On the side of Aporia's attack, they are running a classic dive tanks and Mercy Lucio for supports. Genji's all in there like normal dive, but they do have the Doomfist for some more disruption to help the Winston out a bit. Something I am excited to see, especially with the fact that there is no barrier to help the Bastion. But he isn't playing in a setup position. I think he's trying to get behind them to deal damage. Currently one pick each, but Aporia did lose their main tank, which is a bit bigger. Drastic messes up when trying to deflect. Flock does manage to pick up Flex, and Drastic also. Kawaii does get rezzed and gets back in mech, but isn't going to be able to do much alone. And they were able to hold for the first fight. Let's see if Cronus is able to hold again. Flock does kill Kawaii after the stagger. One more fight coming in. Flock has Diva Bomb. Pyro is 75 to Bastional, and they might be able to charge Transcendence if they are able to land a lot of shots. On the side of Aporia, they are at 70% to Valkyrie, and that's about it. Going up here to the high ground. Hammond goes up to contest them and does manage to demech Kawaii before the fight even starts, and Pyro picks him off. Rez coming in front of everyone somehow. Isn't able to get remeched, and damage is coming in. Clout does pick off Flex. Valkyrie coming in on the side of both. Pyro does pick off Drastic with his ult, and Hammond is zoning out the point. And Ghastly beats Bullet Stomper in a Mercy battle. And that is going to be a draw, so it's currently 1-0-1 for Aporia. Okay, my colors should be fixed for the next map, though. And speaking of that next map, we move on to Horizon Lunar Colony. Everybody loves that map, right? Now we just need to see if... either one of them need a sub. Cronus is confirmed. Now we're just waiting on Aporia. Three comments, one of them mine. You guys should talk a bit more. Lets me know you're interested. Still waiting on a confirmation from Aporia. Okay, Aporia is confirmed. Now we can get into it. Bribery in the chat. As we're waiting for the picks to be revealed, everybody here that isn't on Viral should tune it. That isn't on Viral or Ignite should tune into the game tomorrow at 12 CST, noon. Yes, I promoted my own game. Okay, but looking at the comps, we see a... I flipped my colors and it didn't work. I love this game. Time to flip them again. I'm not gonna flip them. I think the sides are just flipping, and I have that setting on. Might be it. I don't know. But the side of attack with Cronus, they are running. Wait, no. Okay, the top didn't change. The actual colors did. On the attack with Aporia, we have a Sim Reaper, Zarya Rein, Ana Lucio. On the defense of Cronus, we have a Torbjorn who got 2 picks, both the DPS. Before it happened, a D.Va, a Bastion, a Zenyatta, a Hammond, and a Mercy. This dude seemed to work pretty well for them last time, so why not try it again? On Silverroot here on the Hammond. Get in some sightlines, I would assume. Zen does die, but gets rezzed up here, and Flock dies. No, Axcrid dies to Flock D.Va. Actually, I feel like that was mostly Bastion. Drastic gets picked off from Silverboot from a distance away. It's definitely interesting to see what happened there. Let's watch Flex go Stanky and kill Ghastly. Going back to point to Hegon, we're going to go third person. Watch this. Cloud is able to pick off, I still can't say that name, Aporia's Hanzo, as Pyro manages to demect Kawaii. Annex's turret manages to get both supports on Aporia's side. Or Cronus' side. Yeah, Aporia's. Okay. Only the top colors are flipped, and that's really annoying. Because Annex here is yellow how they are supposed to be. But if you look at the top left, Annex is on the blue side. But Aporia's Hanzo does manage to take out the turret. That is always good to see. Make sure teams focus the turret and it doesn't get to pick off everyone. Aggressive dive in from Axtrade, but does have support. Drastic does get picked off by Pyro, followed by Asterix. Molten Core coming in. Doesn't get anyone itself, but Bastion does fall to Aporia's Hanzo. Cloutmeister does pick off the Hanzo. Ghastly does manage to res up, and Kawaii picks off Annex. So if they can get out, die, and get back in really fast, without doing that, they could have regrouped before the Torbjorn was back. But now Baby D.Va's getting staggered. Kind of. Never mind. I agree, though. Bastion comps make me sad unless I'm running them. And they make me happy, because they can do nothing as the Bastion holds R2. But Aporia pushing aggressively to the right. Hammond ult's coming in, splitting the Mercy off from the entire team. That's actually massive ults. Trying to destroy so they can get their Mercy to come back up and join them. Annex does pick up Axcrid though. The Battle of the A's was yet again won. All push aggressively on the remaining members. Drastic singled off from the rest of his team, but they do decide to go for the team instead of the single Genji. Kawaii does die from Silverboot's ultimate, and as Lucio's trying to back out, taking damage from the turret. Kawaii does die completely, as Flock also picks off Bullet Stomper. Ashford dies in aggressively, but might be able to back out here, might not. They are going to have to try and touch, though, since it's almost over. Molten Core coming in, Primal Rage coming in on action, and insta-killed. That's a bit excessive in my opinion. The hammer, that has to be play of the game, it has to. But it wasn't earlier when that happened in the scrim, sadly, but okay. Ghastly also picks off, I'm just going to call him Two-Skin. And Bullet Stomper dies from Pyro, who also gets Axe Grid that got back on the ham. And yep, that's going to be .1 from Bastion Torbjorn. And my PlayStation did the glitch again. It says headset connected. Who is using this device? And took up the entire screen. I didn't hit a single button and it brought us back to game. That is fun. If anybody in the comments knows how to fix that, please let me know. It happens mid-game sometimes and it's really annoying. I think my team knows enough for me complaining about it. Okay, but let's take a quick look at the comps here. On the side of Cronus, it's the exact same thing, except Pyro is now a Hanzo instead of a Bastion. And the Clout is now a Moira instead of Mercy. On the side of Aporia, they are running the Reinhardt Hog with a Reaper as their solo DPS, and triple supporting with the Brigida, who's basically still a DPS. Mercy and Lucio. Speaking of Lucio gets hooked in on the side of Cronus, not Aporia, but they do their setup up top and let the Torb turret do lots of damage, because why not? Flaunt gets hooked in and does not get demacked, but takes a lot of damage. On the side of Silverroot here. Lots of damage comes in, gets hooked, and takes a lot of Reaper damage, but is able to back... Never mind. They do trade though. Flock does manage to pick off Kawaii, as 2scan managed to pick off Silver. Max Short falls to Pyro, but Ultimate coming in on the side of Aporia to res him back up. Flex does manage to stanky out the stanky Pyro, as Drastic picks off Annex, and it looks like... Not for sure, but it looks like Aporia is going to be able to hold this. With the Soundbarrier coming in, which was debatably unneeded, that does solidify it, as Cronus is now backing out. Axe Created has ult, and 2scan has Death Blossom also, while Flock and Expo have their ults with Ghastly very close, and Silver also having his ult. And they switched to the Bastion in place of the Hanzo. It worked, so why not, right? Hammond Mine's coming in, dealing lots of damage, single off the point. Bastion comes in, lands on point. Let's get... They just dropped the bomb right in front of him. He had to drop, but yep, that's it. That's the game. That's a team kill. Yep. And Cronus takes map 3. It's now 1-1-1. Let's watch this Torbjorn play, because I forgot to watch the last one as I was changing settings. Oh, this is just, yeah, this team kill. Assist, 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 assist. Okay, actually, no, that's actual kill. And then a turret kills somebody off screen. Nice. Okay, now moving on to map 4, which is... Don't mind me. Junkertown! And we're getting a winner out of this no matter what. A tied map. The question is, who's it going to be? This also means every prediction that was made on the talk show is now messed up, because nobody predicted a draw. Actually, I think I tried to, but they didn't let me. check if both teams are ready, though. Cronus has insta-confirmed they are ready. I am glad. I like it when teams are on top of it like that. Let's see. Still waiting. Ooh, a sub is being made, or a rage quit. I don't know which one. 2 subs or 2 rage quits. I don't know which one. Okay, it's subs. Dang, I was kind of hoping it would be rage quits. Because then I could just pack my stuff and head out. Ghost, who do you think's been at MVP during? Ooh, we're seeing Clouds come in. I'm excited. Former teammate. Now I get to be super biased. Not really. And calling him 2011 because it's either calling him Ninja or 2011. I like 2011 a bit more. Okay, well, we'll see if they are fine with this. Okay, both sides are now ready. Let's get into this. Junkertown, the home of the pirate ship. In other words, Cronus is running a bastion. Why am I spawned off the map? I don't know. Well, as we're waiting for the teams to come up, let's take a look at the Junkertown landscape, or the Australian landscape, which doesn't look half bad after being ravaged by a nuclear explosion. Yeah, that actually looks pretty good. I mean, it's better than half the cities right now. There weren't even nuclear bombs exploded by them. Okay, done roasting the world. On the side of Aporia, colors are finally right for the last game. You guys proud of me? But, the exact same comp for Cronus. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And, Aporia is running Clouds on Genji. What a surprise. Oh, nope, Diva. Okay, they're just running goats. Goats with, triple offs supports with the Lucio, the Brigitte, the Zenyatta, and with the Zarya, Reinhardt, D.Va. Watching Pyro hiding. Actually, let's go get somebody who's going to be in the fight for a little bit first. They did leave the point behind to do this. That is the only issue with doing this. So, even if Cronus loses this fight right away, they're going to have more time than a team that Pyro chips on it. But Pyro does manage to take out Clouds, Kawaii, and Flock takes out the baby version of Clouds. Bullet does get Pyro though after dying to Silver, and yep, that's that. Do you like my scary chocolate lab in the background? Okay, they are pushing the point now, and Silver does go into the back line really alone. Has no protector shields up, but managed to back out somehow. Cloud's on point a little bit alone, taking damage from the Torbjorn turret. Torb is, yep. Flux managed to get out the turret, which is going to be good to take some damage. Bastion tries to set up on the backside, but takes a lot of damage. Gets another hammer kill. 2 in 1 game. Not same map, but 2 in 1 game. Axcrid does manage to pick up Anix, though. This time, Axcrid was the winner of the Battle of the A's. Ghastly manages to pick up Anix, and Axcrid does demech Flock, with Clouds being demeched by Silver. With a double supportal, Transcendent and Rally coming in on the side of Aporia, this should hopefully be a one fight for them, but Clouds gets demeched by Pyro, and with the Bastral coming in with no D.Va for any help of the defense matrix, I'm expecting some picks here from it. But Axcrid's barrier is able to take off most of it. Flock managed to eat Kawaii's grab, and Shatter hits almost no one. That's 2 ults wasted there. Cloud does have mech back, and successfully managed to get in it. Flock does have bomb and can throw it, but it looks like they're just back at Island where they have Poria half point 1. That was a nice seed on Flock's end. Ninja manages to pick off the Torb turret and sees the Hammond in the backline, who just took 4 shots before moving. Great reaction time. Axcrid messes up some of the molten core, but still just managed to get some going on. Cloud does try and dive. Incoming D.Va bomb. That was actually a really good block there, saying the fact that they were booped in the air by Silver. Bomb thrown with... I thought that was perfect position in my opinion, but nobody died from it, so... good job on Cronus' end, avoided that. Anix does go in and try and take out the Zem in revenge with the Bastion dying, and does not manage to get the hammer kill. Ninja does manage to kill him. Flock does pick out Kawaii, though, since Kawaii was left almost alone on point compared to the 2 supports. Zen falls half from Axcrid's Fire Strike, and Mercy taking a lot of damage. Mercy falls to 1 HP, gets picked off by Zenyatta, and Flock gets demeched. Probably going to get insta-kills so they can't contest point. Point contest going in. Zenyatta is alone being doped by Cloud. Let's see if we can follow that. Flock does manage to remech, and Bastion coming in. Defensive Witch is taking some of it, but the rest of it coming in. Flock eats a second grab. Okay. Cloud does manage to take out Pyro though, and Kawaii does manage to demech Flock after the fact. Anix on point low. It does get picked off by Clouds, and Ninja does fall on the side of Aporia, while Flock getting killed as a baby. Oof, I'm losing my voice. This is when you wish you had a second commentator. With the Torb setting up top with his turret, Molten Core coming on the side of Annex, just spread across the point. Silver did try to boot them all up in. Annex and Flonk both get shattered, but Pyro does manage to pick off Active. Cloud's Bomb coming in, does manage to get the Bastion with no Reinhardt barrier to block. Comes in, Flonk's coming in, does essentially manage to pick off both Kawaii and Ninja. Trying to back out, Pyro does get res. Clouds and Bullet Stomper are cut off from the rest of their team, being pushed by 2. Action does drop down to help them, and it looks like they are going to be able to survive. With him going up top behind, he is going to be able to slam them all in the air. All 3 that were there at the time gets put in the air as Pyro is up top doing a lot of damage. They don't really have anyone to get up there, but Clouds does put pressure and successfully manages to do it. With Mercy going up to try and get the res, Clouds is able to put enough pressure to force her off. Annex does go in and successfully manage to pick off Kawaii, but shortly after, Clouds does manage to get Ghastly. Flock does her bomb in the air. Gets nobody this time. A little bit of a disappointment after the 3-man they got last time. Flux is on point doing lots of damage. Bastion will come in from the back line, but Transcendent should be able to keep most of them up as long as Axker can block the direct hits. Clouds picks off Cloud, but gets rezzed, and Pyro dies from Ninja. Lots of damage coming in from the Molten Core, along with the Minefield. Yeah, that. And grab coming in does not get eaten for the first time, but it is a solo grab, so it's basically the exact same thing. Cloud manages to get 3 from the D-Mech. And Bullet Stomper does pick off the Baby Flock, pushing forward to try and kill the Bastion. They do manage to get him before he can make it back to spawn, but nobody was on point. Well, their Clouds was, but the Mercy was staggering it a bit. Okay, we're gonna do a small dance as we try and cap the point. Transcendent's coming in on the side of Cronus, able to stall for a bit. Coming in on the side of Silver here, or actually no, we'll go Cloud as he gets shattered and charged. Time to switch off that. Ninja, let's see, lands 2 shots on the Mercy. Kawaii does successfully manage to finish the Mercy off though. Round 1 is complete, all 3 points. How much money do you think is on this cart? Like, assume each gold coin is valued at what a gold coin would be worth. So about let's just put it roughly at $1,000 a coin, even though that might be underpriced. But how much do you think this cart would be worth if each coin was worth 1,000 and each bar was worth 500,000? Let's look at the comps. Aporia running goats because it worked well for them there, and okay, it's the exact same thing each team ran on defense. I'm gonna be honest, I thought Aporia would win this a little bit more convincingly. Especially since they haven't given him perfect the only loss. But they are setting up aggressively here. I mean, I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do. And running out and putting damage on the Torb before the turret gets completely set up. Switching over to the Orisa after Torb dies. Pyro does manage to set up top though and pick off Bullet Stomper. Barrier fallen, and even with the aggressive pick and the original picks, they are Cronus is able to get the push going, and yeah. Kawaii does manage to back out with their charge though, so that should help out them next fight quite a bit. Let's jump on board with Pyro here. I feel like I'm lagging more than the players, but I really don't know because servers have been bad. But Axe could be the only one that falls during that fight for Aporia. It is interesting to definitely see everything happen there. About hitting the button, I now head back to the point to watch Aporia set up. Pyro Pyro sets up top above the Orisha barrier, but they, like I said earlier, Aporia doesn't really have much that can get to them. Aporia does push in the bottom ground. Let's watch, let's watch Clouds a bit. Putting pressure on the Bastion. Doesn't pick off anyone, but is able to get back in mech. Bastion gets sent into the backline, and they are able to eat most. Kawaii does pick 2 out from this, but Annex does try and pop Molten Core. Does get low from Clouds, but is able to get heals before they die. Molten Core dealing lots of damage, but Kawaii gets 2 more that pick. That's 4 for that fight alone for Kawaii. Pyro switches off the Bastion to the McCree. And Ghastly falls really late to Kawaii. 5 in 1 fight. Flock coming before they even have their Mercy back. Supercharger lands on point. I was trying to get up there, deals decent damage so far, but really nothing that's instrumental. Ults coming in on both sides. Inside the grab to try and prevent damage from coming in, they drop the minefield, but Flock is falling low on point, does die. And Clouds does have the option to try and finish off the Hammond here, who's 1 HP. Does successfully do it, but Ghastly does manage to res up Flock, and Axford is being pushed over by the Reaper. It's gonna let the Reaper kill him. Or her. Nah, I messed up again. Looks like Cronus is gonna be able to cap this, but a little bit later than Aporia did. There's going to be no barrier on the side of Cronus, so if there's a time to shatter, it's now. And barrier has come in. Going aggressive, trying to land the shatter. Manages to get the Reaper nope, the Reaper didn't die, but does manage to pick out Flock. Tries to charge the Reaper, doesn't happen. On Silver does manage to pick out Ninja that fight, and Pyro does manage to get Kawaii. So this is something Cronus can still come try and fight and win. But Bullet does pick off Pyro, so they can group up quickly and try and get back before Aporia gets their players back. Aporia has all their members back now, so it's a 6v6. There aren't many ults on either side, but there are considerably more on the side of Cronus. Supercharger comes in, Axford does go very aggressive to destroy it, and does manage to pick off Flock in the process, but does die to Pyro. Kawaii does pick off Pyro, though, as all this is going on. And Clouds picks off Annex. Let's get on board with the Pharah. Past it? Oh, I was looking at it. Okay, Annex does have Barrage, and let's see if they're able to do anything with it. Goes high in the air, a little bit out of what I think Clouds will be able to get to. They do have to demech the Diva, though, before they can press Triangle. And they press Triangle. I think most of it... No! Clouds does press Triangle instead, and does manage to pick off Pyro, as Kawaii picks off Annex. But Annex did get flexed before anything comes in. Axcrid dies to Silver, but Ninja does end up killing Silver shortly after. Going in, they do manage to pick off Flock, which is good. They couldn't get out with his charge. And putting aggressive on the Mercy, Cloud is able to pick off the Mercy. Let's get on board with Pyro here. Triangle comes in from Pyro, but most of it gets Aiden, but a lot of damage is able to get on action, and they are able to kill him. Or her. I messed up again. Silver is really low, but might be able to charge their ultimate during this fight, and with no Reinhardt, it should be pretty large. It falls to about half HP, but is 98 to their ult. Grav comes in on the side of Cronus. Now it's Aporia. Sound Barrier does come in to protect them along with the Shattered. Flock does kill Kawaii as Annex picks up Bullet. Astrid is back to try and deal damage, but Ninja falls. I don't think they're gonna be able to 2v6 here. Flex dies, and yeah, that's gonna be second point to Cronus. In overtime. Annex does die really soon after it in Branch, and nobody was able to die. Cloud does pick off Ghostly. Shatter comes in from Aporia, but does get blocked. Good block there. They do manage to pick off Cloutmeister, and Pyro picks off Flex. Currently a Lucio trade, but Flock does manage to pick off Kawaii. And Reaper coming in trying to deal damage, then successfully happens, but actually does pick them off. Diva Bomb coming in. Does manage to pick off Ghastly. That's actually a really big pick going into the possibly last fight. Shatter comes in, does manage to get 2 on the ground, but gets... I like that Shatter. I really do. Axe Grid Solo Shatter Pyro to prevent any damage from going in. That was actually big brain plays. With very little opportunity to touch the cart, especially with Flock being picked off so late. They do manage to touch the cart though and give it some extra distance, but it's not like it's going to matter since they're most likely going to lose this upcoming fight if they can even touch again. They do manage to res up Flock, and this can be a change. Silver does die, but Bad Ghastly comes in. Sound Barrier is protecting them all from the protecting Aporia all from the grab, and not many of them die. Cloud does pick off Pyro during this, which is something that I can definitely see going big. Hopping on board with Flex here. Grav does come in, tries to do lots of damage with a 4-man. Okay then. Yep, that's a way to end the map. A 4-man bomb. Okay. Well, I know who I'm talking to. On Aporia, at least. Probably Clouds, even though he was in for only 1 map. Axe Grid. Clouds and Axe Grid. In Cronus, we're probably going to talk to Clout and probably Clout and Annex. We'll do Aporia's interviews first, since I'm already friends with one of them I want to invite. I guess Cronus might not give an interview. Okay, we only have Aporia's side then. And Cronus does not want to do interviews. I'm gonna re-invite Axcrit and Clouds. Do you think if I buffed my stats and put me in there, they would be able to? I would somehow be able to 1v6? I doubt it. I also don't think they would appreciate me doing that.
Hello.
Hello! I'm not alone anymore.
He
Yeah, also,
fails the solo commentator.
yeah, something came up last second for my partner.
Okay.
I sent an invite to Clouds too. Is he joining?
He should be. I don't know why he hasn't yet.
Okay. Good game, though. Good game.
Yeah, no, it was a really good game. It was really interesting.
It was close.
Yeah, it was. No, like, they definitely ran some really weird comps that I've never played against before, and
The
it,
Salmon, Bastion, Torbjorn, Diva, Lucio, Mercy, or Moira. That was just something that confused me
yeah.
the first time I saw it. The first time they pulled out, I was saying Hammond's probably going to switch to Reinhardt. It didn't happen. I'm like, okay.
No, it actually worked out really well because of the disperse, like because we couldn't focus targets and he kept knocking people up. So where we cannot like destroy turrets or hook anyone, and it was just really bad. Like I
Yeah.
give him props for that.
Hello, Clouds. Long time no see.
Sup, Sharky Poo? Shark Dad.
4-man bomb, though.
Dude, I didn't know that was gonna happen, dude. I just threw it out there because we graphed.
And look what happened.
Like, I didn't expect 4K, like, holy god.
Yeah. Well, good game to both of you, even though Clouds only came in for one map.
I know.
Hey, but you
It
made a
just sucks
difference the
that...
map you were in. Oh yeah,
Oh,
also,
yeah, I feel good about that.
what was Kawhi's reaction when Flock ate both grabs that they threw on attack? I just want to know.
Um, I don't think he really had one. The comms were so loud that like if he did have one, I didn't pick it up.
Okay, because both grabs on attack, Flock ate both of them. Actually, no, they got one on third point, but the first two grabs were eaten by Flock.
Yeah, I don't think he really had much of a reaction. He's really good about not reacting to that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But overall, it was a good game. What do you guys think your strongest area was during that?
Goats. Just goats. Forehead.
Yeah. We picked up our comms together like for last map, and our first map comms were really good. The in between was like what we need to work on, but like it was good to know now than like not knowing, and then we hit finals and they get destroyed because of it.
Yeah. It's always good to see things ahead of time.
So this was a 2-1, right?
2-1-1.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think you struggled with the most against them?
Your fucking Bastion and Torb shit. Shit was annoying as hell.
We we've never practiced dive with the 6 we had in like
I was about to say I've
for
seen you
the
dive a
tanks.
lot. So.
Yeah, no, with the tanks that we had in, because like normally we have Stank in, like if we're wanting to do dive, but he wasn't in. So me and Kawhi had never done dive before, so then we had Kawhi and Brandon try it, and there's a lot of miscommunications with that. So I feel like working on expanding people's synergy is probably a big thing. But besides that, I mean, I feel like everybody did really well.
Okay. What do you think was your like favorite moment during that game? Like the area you had either the most fun on, or you thought was really funny or something like that.
Um, Probably when everybody in the lobby was screaming targets. It was so fucking loud. Like you literally had to scream to get yourself heard. It was really funny.
That would have been interesting to hear.
Yeah. Hearing clouds yell, pretty funny.
Clouds yells.
Shut up.
Yeah, the whole last map.
Since when do you yell clouds?
I fucking wanted the fucking Torb dead, dude. The loudest I got was whenever the Torb was low, or he was all alone by himself. I was just like Torb, 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 kill Torb, kill Torb. And I just wanted that fucking Torb dead,
I
dude.
noticed you focusing the door quite a bit.
I know. What a like. Oh my god, that pisses me off, dude. But
Also, how did you guys
yeah,
react when Annex got a total of 3 hammer kills?
I didn't know he was doing that. I think they were just I don't
I
know if they
didn't
were
know.
throwing or something, or they were just so
No.
confused.
No, they got a hammer kill on Hanamura, then 2 on Junkertown, and then a failed one on your
Yeah,
Zen.
Rip. It's probably winter. Comms were really jaded that we didn't really notice it, to be honest.
Okay.
Rip everybody who got hammered to death.
Yeah.
I think it was a Zen or Zen.
Rip.
There's some pretty clutch transies, which is like really freaking good.
The
Like everyone
comms
was
are
Oh
so
really good as
hyped.
yeah.
well.
Yeah,
The,
adrenaline was pumping, and then because we really wanted to win.
yeah, I can tell. Well, I think this definitely will solidify your spot in playoffs.
Yes.
I think you are actually, even if you lost this, we're solidified. I can't say for sure, but I think you were.
I think we needed to win this to solidify it because we lost last week's.
Okay. Well, you did win, and that's what matters. Even though the
Yeah,
score was really close.
it was. It was a close game. It was really interesting.
Yeah, even down to the wire.
Yep.
But that was a good game. I don't think I have any other questions because normally I split these. But unless you have anything else you want to say about the game, I think I'll shut off the stream.
I just want to know, like, how's Varo doing overall?
Making playoffs for
Wait, how's
sure.
that
We can lose
funny?
out. We can lose out. We're making playoffs.
So, okay, so we still need to like solidify yours too, your spot.
No, ours is
No,
solidified.
theirs is
We're
fine.
at third
Oh,
right
okay,
now.
good. Okay, good.
I think we'll see you in playoffs.
Yes.
But say goodbye to the stream, the 3 people that were watching during, and then probably the 70 people that will watch later.
Bye,
Good
Freds.